Due to hitting the like goal, we're going to go ahead and finish breaking down my offense out of gun tight way off. So the playbook that I'm in is in Akron. You can also run this out of UMass as well. And these playbooks also have majority of the plays. So first off here, we're going to go ahead and make sure our audibles are set. So going into the formation here, you want to go ahead and have deep crossers set, jet touch pass, fake jet halfback seam, as well as PA slot cross. Now, sometimes that will come out in either inside zone or 0-1 trap, just in case I need to pick up a few yards on the ground or just to throw a run play at your opponent. I'll go ahead and do that. But my base play here, so the play that I'm going to be coming out in 90% of the time here is going to be tight end corner. So I'm going to go ahead and cover all of the setups that I run out of this formation. Let's dive into it. So to begin here, as often as possible, you want to make sure that you're running this formation with the two wide receiver side and the short side of the field. So if you're on the right hash mark, you'll typically run this formation flipped. Now I understand that you won't always be on a hash mark, so you just got to kind of make that call yourself. So to begin here, I will just advise with the breakdown here, I'm going to separate into sections, basically just showing setups that I like to use versus zone, versus man coverage, cover zero blitzes, and match coverage. Now, some of these setups will be usable versus other coverages if you like make a mistake as to what you think your opponent's in, because they'll have routes like whip routes, return routes, crossing routes, or posts that will get open versus basically any coverage anyways. But I just want to make sure that everything's separated as to what I specifically will make the call versus. So just to begin here with my base or main setup, this is what I like to run as my favorite setup in the formation. And this is something that can be ran versus any coverage. If you want a further breakdown, make sure to check out my first video, which I have linked in the description. So some other setups here that I like to run versus zone. I'm going to go ahead and reset the play here. I'll go ahead and streak my tight end. I will post my outside wide receiver in the right. I'll usually stem him up like 1 or 2 times, just have him run a little bit deeper. It's something that's very good against cover 3, so I'm going to show it versus cover 3 only. Now, the running back, you can put him on a flat or block him. So let's let the play unfold. You can see, hit the return route over the middle of the field, pick up easy yards, and like I've stated, you have this table route potentially to throw. Otherwise, you got a nice window here to throw this guy, and you can see we took it for a touchdown. Let me show you that replay. The streak here is going to occupy the deep blue enough so you can pass it that inside, and then we're off for the races. So if you look at the corner on the left, if your opponent's playing like shade down zone out of cover 3, you can throw this corner as well. See right there, we caught it. Let's go ahead and do it again here. Right there, it gets underneath that deep blue. It's easy dot. Another nice little zone beater looks like this. Basically, post the outside wide receiver, streak the slot wide receiver and tight end, and then call your hike. So you can see you have the angle route, and then on the right hand side you can possibly throw this speed out as long as they're not shaded down. But mainly you just want an option here to throw a post from that left side, just because I like to have post options at pretty much every wide receiver and tight end spot. It just really helps with offenses working better. So versus cover 2 here, here's the play. You can see you can dump the ball up to the flats very easily versus cover 2. Take your yard, stiff arm, do what you got to do. You have the angle route over the middle. These streaks mainly just for pull routes. I don't throw them a whole lot, to be honest. It's mainly the 3 key routes, the speed out, the C route, and then the good old post route. So now I'm going to show you how to attack the right side of the field. What I like to do here, streak the outside wide receiver, and then I will usually stem down this corner out on the right. I'll table around my running back. If I do that, I will streak the slot wide receiver. Now, another option you have is to drag the wide receiver and then block your running back. So you can see you have a nice little quick route over the middle of the field to hit. And then you'll also have, showing the initial setup too, you have the return route that you can hit. Sometimes this seam streak will get open over the middle, or sometimes this outside corner will like bite down on the return route. You can throw the seam streak for a lot of yards, but you just got to kind of be wary of that. Now on the right side, this is what we want to focus on, is throwing this tight end route just like that. You can see it's wide open. So now versus cover 2, go ahead and show the setup. You'll just have to change the corner depth depending on what they're usually running for zone depth on the right. If they're like 20, 25, etc., you just have to look at that yourself. Now, most often versus cover 2, I'll run this setup just because the seam streak on the left versus cover 2 really isn't going to be that beneficial. But you can see here, you hike the ball, you have different depths you can throw, and then we have this corner out wide open over the cloud. And like I stated, you'll just adjust the depth based upon what they're running for depths on their clouds. So you can see we also have the drag. And then we have the return route too, which is going to be very good versus zone. Zones and whips, super good. So similar to what I just showed you here, we're going to go ahead and put the outside wide receiver on a corner route, but we're going to always stem him down. We do leave the tight end on the corner route just in case your opponent switch sticks in like a cover 3. There's a possibility they could leave that wide open. We can't really simulate that in practice mode though. But if we table route a running back, we're going to streak the slot wide receiver. So if you look here, you can see right there, we're pass leading this towards the sidelines. Easy dot to the cornerback. And then you still have the table route or return route to choose from. So here, I'll also show you if we block a running back, typically just drag this guy so you have a quick little hitting route over the middle. So versus cover 2 here, I'm going to go ahead and set up the play. Like I showed before, block my running back, drag the slot wide receiver, and then you can go ahead and throw this. Obviously, if it gets over the cloud, if it doesn't, I wouldn't throw it. I would just look to focus on this left side then. But most often versus cover 2, you can just attack it easily by throwing the speed outs. That's going to be your best bet and get the easiest yards and completions to that right side. Here's the return. Return's good to dump the ball off to. Last up here for zone, it's going to be mainly a way to stretch the field vertically. Go ahead and put your outside wide receiver on a slot fade, tight end and slot receiver on a streak, and then you're going to call hike. You're going to have this speed out that you can hit quickly to the right side, pick up easy yards, and it should also do a good job of pulling any like inside routes to be able to throw the angle or Texas route over the middle. So you can see right there, taking easy yards to Dickerson. So last up, you want to look to throw the fade or like a seam streak. So like right there, you have that open. Then if your opponent is playing with like shaded down slot zones, you can look to throw this slot fade right there very easily versus cover 3. So now versus cover 2, like I've stated a lot, you can abuse the sidelines with the speed out. You take your easy yards versus cover 2. And then I really like to throw the Texas or that slot fade versus cover 2 as well. You can see right there. And then if the mid-read bites down, you can very easily throw a seam to the tight end. So like right there, he bit a little bit, so he took the easy yards. And our last read here on the left, as long as it clears the cloud, you can throw it. So like right there, wide open, money. My deep crosser setups here are going to be streak the slot wide receiver. You're going to return route this guy right here, and then go ahead and simply wheel route your tight end. I'll usually block my running back with this setup. If you want, sometimes you can streak him out of the backfield. We call hike here, and you can just throw it out to the flats, pick up easy yards to your tight end. Let's do it again here. You can see if you throw it right away, you can get a couple yards, stiff arm. You can see I busted it for 10 yards right there. Aside from that, it's pretty simple here. All I really do, you can see you can throw this return route over the middle, pick up easy yards, and then you try to throw the crosser as it comes back over the middle of the field. Just a very simple, very easy zone beater. See right there, very easy. So the other setup out of deep crossers, I whip the outside wide receiver on the left here, streak the outside wide receiver on the right, and then I'll simply just return route my tight end and either block or table route my running back. So versus zone here, you can throw the underneath routes very quickly if your opponent gives them to you. I love to do that every year. Take your check downs, pick up easy yards, and it's just going to open up routes deep like this crossing route. Now the table route, if they're shaded up, you can throw it. Otherwise, you're just going to look to throw this crosser in between the zones and you pick up easy yards. So I'll go ahead and show the routes here versus cover 2. Here's the first setup. Like I stated, you can throw the flats really quick on this. Go ahead and hit that stiff arm. It's just something that is going to be broken, I feel like, this year. It's very, very effective. They may patch it, but right now they haven't, so we're going to take advantage of it. See this route here, before it gets to the yellows, you can throw it. Sometimes the crossing route will be a little bit difficult of a read versus cover 2, so you'll just have to make that read yourself. But you can see you can throw that in the seams also. I'll try to throw the crosser, but usually if they're at like a 20-25 yard depth, you'll only really be able to throw the crossing route over the middle. See, like right there, he just came over to play it. You just got to make that read yourself. You don't want to obviously throw any silly picks. So the other setup here, like I stated, these whip routes versus zone are money when they're not shaded down. The return route, even though he got bumped, still open. I picked up about 10. And then if you get the time here, you can either check down to the running back or throw this crosser to the long side of the field. I really like crossers so there's the long side of the field here just because they really, at some sort of point, is going to get in between any different like level of zone that you might see. So it's a super good route. Versus man coverage, I kind of have two setups that I like to run or focus on versus it. First is going to be out of PA slot cross. All I do here, I drag my tight end. I option route my running back. Most of the time he's going to go on an out route, so he'll get pretty good separation on the cut here. Go ahead and call hike. But you can see this in route is very nice. It gets great separation and just completely kills the man coverage. See cuts, you can fire it, boom, easy yards. Now the drag will get open kind of dependent on who's manned up to him or what personnel's on the field. So I'm just going against dime. You can see he gets a little bit of separation still, but he's got a cornerback that's 2 speed faster than him on him. So it's something that's going to not always get open when I'm showing this. You can see the out route. You have a possibility to throw that. Got knocked out, but it's better than having him on like a flat route, which he's just going to not get open at all. But then you also have this crossing route that you can throw. It got knocked out there, but you can see he had separation on the cornerback. But this right here is your best route to throw, that in route. Let's do it again here. See the crosser got wide open, took a easy 10 to 15 yards. So the other play setup is going to be out of PA crossers, sorry, deep crossers. All I do whip route my tight end, and call hike. You have a lot of routes that get open versus man. And the running back in route. You have the crossing route. You can see here you have 2 crossing routes, so you can throw that one as well. And then depending on if the the tight end gets open, you can dump it off to the whip route as well. So this X post, also something that you could potentially throw. You can see he had separation, so I fired it over the middle, and we took easy yards. I have 2 setups I like to run versus cover 0 blitzes. The first one here, you can put Y on a post or crosser him, and then slant in the tight end. And then I'll block my running back and then usually hike once he steps up by the quarterback. It just kind of helps with blocking a little bit. You can see he moves up there, but then this speed out completely cooks man coverage. You're able to attack this super easily versus blitzes. And then you also have this slant in. Usually just pass lead it away from the defender. Do it again here. There, you can see, take your easy yards. Sometimes you can even just stiff arm them and get yards after the catch. But then you can see here this crosser. Crosses are very good right now. You can see how it has the safety even on him as well. And he's still getting open. See right there, getting easy yards. Now the return route will kind of be hit or miss here versus man coverage. Just kind of dependent on if he gets inside position. So like he didn't there, so I didn't throw it. Now the other setup that I like to run looks like this. Same thing as I showed you before, except for you're adding in a tight end corner, which sometimes the quarterback will just whiff on the throws just because they have low passing attributes right now. So as the year goes on in cut, it'll get better. Let's do it one more time here. You can see right there, we're cooking, picking up easy yards. So my favorite setup to run versus match is going to be out of deep crossers. The setup here, streak the slot wide receiver, go ahead and wheel out the tight end. So if you call hike here, you'll see this wheel route does not get matched. So you can go ahead and chuck it to the flats and take your easy yards. And this running back speed out is also good. You can see everything's playing above. And you can dump it off, take your easy yards over the middle. And then from there, you can possibly throw this crosser, usually dependent on your opponent and who he's using. Most people will use the middle linebacker that's in a yellow in match coverage. And also you have this post deep, which is going to be your money route. So if you just hold up a second here, you can see we threw it over the top. Bad throw by the quarterback, but you can see he did get open. Let's do it again. Right here is your money route. He had to go ahead and dive, but you can see here he has to get matched by the outside corner. He completely cooks him, and he's wide open. A better throw and probably scoring a touchdown. But right here is what I mean by using the yellow. So they're usually on this guy. If they try to cover the running back or cover the post up top, this guy here is going to be wide open, so you can just throw it to him. So this is going to be where we show kind of like miscellaneous plays. So like jet sweep, the fake jet halfback seam, inside zone, 0-1 trap, just so you all can see it in action. So we have the inside zone here. We all know how to hike and run the ball, so I'm just going to show it 1 or 2 times. See, right over the middle, easy yards. The 0-1 trap, you just got to take it up the gap here. Here's the 0-1 trap. So you can just take it up the pipe. Take what the defense gives you. Solid run play. Usually a little bit better versus like 4 down lineman sets. I just have 3-3 set here. So I don't have really a lot of 4 down lineman sets in this playbook. But you can see we picked up 10 yards there. So the jet touch pass, super good again this year. You just got to be patient. Make sure your blockers pick up the wide receiver. So the jet touch pass here is super good again. You just need to be patient. Let your blockers pick up the defense and then take the yards that you get. You can easily bust this for a bunch of yards. Or in this case here, I'm just taking the easiest 5 to 10 yards that the defense is giving me, and I'll do that all day. So the jet halfback seam here is super easy play to run. You can't make any hot routes or anything on it, but your main reads here are going to be the tight end, the running back seam, as well as the auto motion route. Sometimes you can throw the B route on the outside if they're in like a cover 2, but the blocking isn't like the best on this play, so you may not always be able to throw it. But you can see right there, I had that guy open. I dumped it off to him in the seams. Let's do it again here. See right there, this guy's open. This crossing route's good versus pretty much any coverage. So I hope you all did enjoy this breakdown. This is everything that I do right now out of tight Y off. I'll make sure to put out more videos on any offenses or defenses that I create throughout the whole year. I'm really dedicated here to be putting out the best tips absolutely free for y'all. If you guys liked the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comment below. I get to them as quickly as I can. I'll see you next time.